Well, isn't that exciting, ladies and gentlemen? Today I have a pure gem for you, and it is Broxa on the Lee Sin, and he's gonna be playing, of course, on stream. We will watch the first-person VOD, and I think that first-person views are always very interesting to watch. And so, yeah, we're gonna have a look at exactly what he is doing here. So he's playing together with an Orianna and a Darius, Aphelios and Annie. Aphelios and Annie in the bot lane, that's pretty nice. Orianna in the mid lane, Darius in the top lane, that's a good one. Jax and Viego on the enemy team, Syndra, enemy mid, and then we have Rakan and the MF. Alright, so it's going to be very interesting to see how exactly he uses F keys, because of course as a jungler those are quite important. And yeah, I would say that he is doing a very, very good job at playing in solo queue. Has a very nutty Lee Sin. So here, yeah, he chooses to jump over the wall, has to use its ward. And I think he might recall into Red Trinket here. No, okay, he doesn't. But by recalling into a Red Trinket, he would have effectively slashed that cooldown a little bit. Been able to get the ward up a little bit earlier on. So that could have been pretty useful. But yeah, he ends up starting at his blue buff now. It's definitely no problem for him. And he's going to start solo, which is something that all the pro junglers have started to do. With the jungle changes, jungling has become easier, but not only that, scuttle crab timing has been delayed as well. And so there is just a lot of incentive for you to just let your laners just, just get the level 2, just go to their lane instantly. And it also obviously obscures your jungling, right? You don't really know where the jungler started then. It's a little bit more difficult, so wards have to be invested into tracking that. And yeah, so what I personally, I used to do this quite a bit on someone like Karthus, right? Because I knew I wouldn't gank a lot, so I would tell the bot lane to just, I would tell the bot lane like, okay, just go level 2, guys. Go win lane, and I will solo clear and try to get level 6 as quickly as possible. Of course, some lanes you can't really do that, and so on and so forth. And I would gank. Very good awareness here of him that he knows, and he pulling the trigger a little bit too late, a little bit too early there, but still double flash going down for I think 1 flash. I'm not sure that Aphelios flashed. I know that Annie flashed, of course. Yeah, Annie pulled that trigger a little bit too early. And we are going to path around and try to look for a regank. So very smart choice. No ward placed here. Viego is ready and he's level 4. But still, yeah, the bot lane isn't too high. The bot lane isn't too high HP value. So that should be fine as Annie Viego. Gonna be looking for the kill here onto Aphelios. Will not find it. Ooh, Syndra now joining in on that roam. And Broxa is just going for the straight cutthroat damage here onto the Syndra. And Syndra will go down. Beautiful flash by him. As Broxa very well just reacting to that situation, saying, okay, well, I guess I have to fight you, Syndra. Not much he can do, and will take down the Syndra. So very good job there. Did play it safe as well, played around his cooldowns, right? And now Aphelios has 2 kills, and the AD carry has 1. So that's pretty rough. We're going into Tiamat here. This helps out with clear by quite a bit. I mean, used to be a necessary item on, a lot of auto tech based champions. Not nearly as necessary anymore, because of course the jungle creep helps you clear. But it seems like he's running it on Lee Sin anyhow. And I mean, Does make a lot of sense as Lee Sin has a lot of single target damage. So he's now just gonna start his red buff. He's benefiting just a slight bit from catch-up XP here. But his chems, unfortunately, his chems, of course, are still all level 1. So as he upgrades them now, as he takes them down now, they'll upgrade. And he will make his way into the bottom side of the map once again. You see that junglers are playing a lot around the bottom side of the map, as that one is quite impactful. Viego will find the kill here onto the Orianna. I mean, Syndra very good at setting up kills. Orianna, the difficult matchup versus Syndra. If you want to play Orianna into Syndra, you kind of want to have push pressure in order to be able to win that matchup. But then oftentimes this can happen, right? Where you get jungle ganked and you die, and then the matchup's kind of over. Broxah's gonna go for the gank here once again. Annie, definitely in range to stun here, is gonna find a stun onto 2 members. And Broxah will hold his Q here. And will take down the AD carry. A little bit of a dicey situation, but he gets out alive. And will tax the cannon minion. Question mark pings coming down. Yeah, I mean, you know. But he's very confident and he can play as champion, right? But still not necessarily good etiquette. Suppose. Okay, so he's making his way actually back into the bottom lane, although remember his Krugs will respawn next. And that is because he wants to take out the dragon here. See how his camera is almost never on his character and almost always on the side lanes, always on what people are doing. This is one of the big things that you can see if you watch, like, for example, my gameplay, right? You just see like how poorly I do this, how poor my awareness is for what is going on. And yeah, that's definitely something to improve in, and you will find that in your own gameplay most likely as well, that there is just a lot of room to improve when it comes to the awareness, and this awareness obviously does a lot for a player, right? And so as people, pretty much as Faker has started using F keys, everyone started using F keys. I mean, you know, LS has been talking about it for, you know, quite a bit longer than Faker's been doing it, but you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Faker is the trendsetter, not LS, right? Everyone looks to Faker. All right, well, we are going to pick up our ultimate now. Level 6, very big power spike for Lee Sin, of course, as he is pinging on the way onto the mid lane here. So I'm just going to look for a gank there. And the Viego was faster. The curling captain, not quite there in time, as he can find a solo kill here onto the Viego. We'll jump to the ward in order to sneak into the bush. We'll look for the MF now. And MF doesn't really stand a chance here anymore. MF will flash, but the E should be in range. Well, Gravitum comes through. It's a connected Q, as we do not need to take that kill, and we also do not need to use our flash for this. Very important, the discipline to you know, hold your ultimate, because now you have much better fighting chance here versus the Viego. Viego obviously moving forward. That kind of tells us Rakan could be around, right? As the Viego, even though there is a level advantage, should probably not be able to win this. Decent flash here out of Broxah, but yeah, I mean, this is the problem. Like, Viego definitely isn't nearly as strong as someone like the Lee Sin. Ooh, the Q doesn't land here. There's no possibility for a smite Q. As Rakan will catch. Ooh, very good ward top. No wards available for now, though. So we can't really do too much anymore here. Can't risk trying to flip a Q onto the Syndra. As between Scatter the Weak and so on, it is, you know, pretty impossible. But, very important, we have waited a little bit for our Ravenous Hydra. You saw that he had 1,100 gold. Now he has just enough gold to get that Ravenous Hydra, which is really nice because that is a little bit like a, you know, Rod of Ages or whatever, is an item that you want to get as quick as possible. And if you lose a little bit of time waiting for it, then that isn't too bad. And in this case, you know, he messed around with Syndra a little bit. Kind of wasted a little bit of time. Orianna ended up staying there as well, but I would categorize that her mistake, not, you know, his. But still, the impact was that Orianna ended up staying as well, which isn't too optimal. Use the smite early here, so he can get the execute damage onto the camps, right? Your Q does execute damage, so you want to smite before you reactivate your Q, second Q. As we are setting up for a gank here onto the top lane. Jax not really smelling it, now he knows, as the Q will connect. And the ward hub will stop any potential fight here. As another Q will connect and we are jumping out again. Very good job by the Jax, baiting out the Lee Sin there. So that Viego can do the objective unharmed. Now Viego finding really good damage here as the curling captain still has a lot of damage available to himself and will find the kick and the safeguard back to the Orianna. Very, very solid play here, right? Kicks the Viego through the Rakan and jumps back to the Orianna. Very good at the 2v2 skirmishing, this champion. And he uses it perfectly. Super good job. As that looked very good for Viego, right? But this is exactly the reason why people appreciate Lee Sin so much. Especially in solo queue, it's just nutty what you can do. Very interesting build by the Viego. That build does not have a lot of damage. I don't know what it is with people going for this item. It's such a crazy strong item. No kick available, unfortunately. As we are gonna be taken down here by the Viego. That is definitely not a good trade. It's a lot of gold going over. As the Viego will be looking for a lot of kills here. Triple kill for the Viego so far. Can you make it a quadra? He's definitely gonna lay chase here. As now the Iron Tail whip has been... Broxa still thinking about what he can get here. Is going to go for the plated steel caps. Pretty good versus the MF. Good versus the Viego. Good versus the Jax. So definitely not a bad item pickup. There is also an argument to be made though for Merc Treads. With Rakan and the Syndra kind of being unavoidable in a way. So yeah. It is what it is. This ends up being his decision. Very good jungling, of course, by him, right? Pulls over the camps once they're low HP. Doesn't have too much fear of the new, changed, more difficult leash range. Not too bad. As we are going to move into the river here and look for a play together with Annie. Definitely is a lot of potential here. Gonna go in. Gonna find the Viego, and that is a dead Viego, and that is a mountain dragon. Thank you very much. Very good. And yeah, I mean, there's not too much that can happen here that can take it away. MF could try to ult, but with the positioning of Orianna and Annie here, that is not possible anymore anyway. As we're gonna keep our smite here and probably use it onto the red buff and maybe another camp. UMF. Oh, nice try. Gotta be a little bit careful here with the Rakan ultimate. That one can mess you up. Well, oh, that kick barely not hitting. As we are gonna find a double here though. Together with the Orianna, the teamwork is strong. as he is going to go in, gonna jump out to get himself to safety here, trying to bait out the Viego. Viego tried to ult over the wall there. He would have been fine, would have lived, and Viego would have gone down here. And I mean, Viego's a little bit of a one-dimensional champion, so you can struggle. You can struggle a lot to find kills, especially versus things like Lee Sin that just have like a million options available to themselves, jumping around, kicking, and so on and so forth. Viego a little bit more of a just hang around champion, where it's like, okay, if my team can get people low and I can get one reset, then we win. But if not, then that's going to be difficult. And definitely can be shut down very hard by something like the Lee Sin. Just being able to kick Viego away. No real way for Viego to catch back up and still have a lot of damage. As, Viego's dead. Are we going to use that ultimate? We are going to use that ultimate to finish him off. Tried to save it, but used it last second because he wasn't sure anymore. Gravitum comes out. Very beautiful flash. Absolutely insane flash. As Broxa is going to try to safeguard himself. And the Annie shield comes in and he's going to stay alive. Oh! 10 HP, dude. How the hell did he survive that? Oh yeah, Lee Sin is a very mobile champion, isn't he? Oh my god. Delicious. Alright, well, now we have the God Drinker. God Drinker, very good item. Especially in the team like this, right? The question is always, are you gonna be inside of like 3-4 people around you? And with Lee Sin, that happens quite a bit. You'll find yourself in that position quite a bit. So the added survivability is definitely good for Lee Sin. Alright, now level 11 has been acquired as well, which is pretty neat. We are not giving this over to our AD carry, which I find surprising. But, you know, it is what it is. As now the question is, what is the next play? We are probably looking for a Baron here soon. It is 17 minutes. I think this game is in a state where you can look for a 20-minute Baron, which means that we could do an Herald, maybe just have a little bit of time left, maybe try to get the Herald real quick, and try to push out maybe even 2 bot lane turrets in one row. As oh my god, Broxa is so fed. He just does so much damage. We'll find the Q onto the Viego. But the Rakan ultimate will save the Viego as the Q comes out, but you can't really Q onto the Jax. And unfortunately, the ultimate was not used very well here. So, yeah. I mean, you know, he stayed safe, but unfortunately wasn't able to find that kill. Viego's shield ball, I don't think saved him there much. Let's be honest. So, yeah, I mean, the shield bow is always good because anything. Why are you smiting things away from Darius? The shield bow is like anything defensive on Viego can be really good because as long as you stay alive, oftentimes that is enough. But also, it can take away a lot from your early catch pressure. And so, you know, it's a good safe option. And if you're playing off of your winning lanes, then that is definitely good. Viego definitely not having a bad time here at all. And this Viego build is very, very different. But one thing that this Viego build offers you is much more mobility when it comes to the items that you want to play. Because with Blade of the Rune King, after that, you're pretty locked into a mythic item, where with Shield Bow, you get the Shield Bow, and then after that, you can get an Infinity Edge if you want the damage. You can get other items. All depends on what you want. So now, Herald is available, so we're gonna see if we can use it Try to use it on the mid lane. Jack's just walking into the EUW Lee Sin. That's a scary sight. Yeah, don't want none of that. As we are going to summon the Herald here. Maybe. I'm gonna summon it in the bot lane. Maybe. Need to summon it somewhere, as we are going to find the Q onto the Syndra. No Scatter the Weak available, so Syndra will just go down. And Lee Sin does benefit heavily from having a blue buff. Of course, energy champions, do not underestimate it. Energy champions, it increases their DPS much more than a mana champion, where, right, with mana champions, it just helps with the resource. But on an energy champion, you just can use your abilities much, much more. As you can see how quickly Lee Sin is regenerating his resource here. It's definitely not supposed to be that way. This is because of the blue buff, of course. As ultimate is still available, and we're probably going to try and finish the game here. Still waiting for them to try to do something, but no, absolutely nothing happening. Cutting Captain will find a final kill, and that is the GG. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. And stay awesome.